Let's do another video review. Welcome back to Life in My Shoes, reviews and such. This week I'm doing a video review. This is Red Dwarf Promised Land. Let me give you a little backstory to what's going on here. This is a long-running sci-fi series, British sci-fi series that is a little genre bending in the fact that it is a sci-fi comedy series. It has been running since 1988, so it's had a 32-year run. Not continuous. It's roughly had about 13 installments. That's around 74 episodes or so. Usually it's about 6-ish episodes a season. It's had 12 seasons, plus this is a hour and 27-minute special. So the premise to the series is that at some point in the future, the world has sent out these crews on these mining ships. It's the Red Dwarf Mining Company sends out a crew. Our main character is Dave Lister. He is the lowest of lows on the seniority chart of the Red Dwarf Mining, with his cohort Arnold Rimmer being slightly above him. They are, as told in the series, they are chicken soup dispenser repairmen. Again, the lowest of the low. Again, spoilers a little bit in this and giving you premise and a little bit about what the series is about. What happens is Dave, although he is the lowest of the low, he has dreams, and his dreams are to someday return to Earth, live in Fiji with his pet cat, and with a love interest that is also a member of the crew, although she is unaware. What we learn in episode 1 of the series is that the cat Dave's cat is brought on illegally. They are not allowed, so it has been able to get on board and circumvent the quarantine process. Dave is found out and is given an option to, 1, turn in the cat, and the cat would be dissected and obviously killed, or 2, to go into suspended animation until some point in the future that he could be released and face his consequences. Dave, rather than forfeit his cat and sacrifice his cat, decides to go into suspended animation. So what happens, unbeknownst to Dave, is during the time he is in suspended animation, again, spoilers, the ship has a radiation leak that kills everyone on board. And as a result of that radiation leak, Dave remains in suspended animation for a length of time that is later revealed to have been 3 million years. So the computer releases him and says, now it's safe. How long's it been? 3 million years. He's been in suspended animation. So it's basically Dave Lister is the last human alive. He has Holly, which is the computer of the ship, that after 3 million years has some intelligence issues. The ship is able to revive 1 crew member as a hologram, and based on Dave's previous experience prior to going into suspended animation, the computer logically animates the person that he had had the most interaction with, and that is Arnold Rimmer, his bunkmate, whom drove Dave nuts. What we learn in the first episode is that the cat survived, which the cat's name was Frankenstein. The cat survived, and the cats evolved into a line of people, and one of those is the cat, is a character that is introduced in episode 1 and becomes a member of the crew. what happens is along the journey, it's Holly, the cat, Rimmer, it's a hologram, and Dave Lister, the last human alive. At some point, I think it's in the second or third season, they encounter Crichton, that is a robot that was serving a crew that had also died. Crichton joins the crew, and so then we come to a crew of Crichton, the cat, Dave Lister, Rimmer, and then Holly. At one point, Rimmer leaves the crew, and Kachansky, which was the love interest that Dave had he was supposed to survive with, Kachansky from an alternate reality, joins the crew. And then eventually Rimmer and Kachansky are in the crew, and then eventually Kachansky leaves, Rimmer remains with the crew. So all of that is your back history of Red Dwarf. Again, 32 years. They've had 12 seasons, each season with about 6 episodes. I was personally introduced to the series probably in about 1990, 1991. It is a series that commonly played on the PBS channel, local PBS, local public broadcast television. When I was right before moving to Metro Atlanta, still living in northern Indiana, I caught probably the first 2 or 3 seasons and was able to record those and eventually get those on DVD. So this is the most recent installment. This was released on April 9th, 2020. So this was just released recently, and it is 87 minutes in length. It is a production quality. It is more like almost a feature movie. It has, I think it says it has 55 minutes of bonus features, which includes what's called Smeg Ups, which are the blooper reels. It has some deleted scenes, and it has a couple documentaries. So as you can imagine, over 32 years, much like the Doctor Who series that was also done, is also a British series, the quality of the series has morphed significantly from the first 6 seasons to this season. The technology available has made it that it looks much more technologically advanced. So that has both its pros and cons. So the environments are familiar, but they're upgraded. And that's just one of those things that you deal with the technology. Even in the Star Wars trilogy, when we go back and we watch the prequels, the technology of the ships and everything in the prequels seemed like it was more advanced than in episode 4, 5, and 6. And that's just because of the technology of movie making, etc., made it available. So this is a feature-length film. I will give you the basic premise and then just kind of give you some general thoughts. So it's called The Promised Land, and what it does is it comes full circle to almost episode 1, absolutely to the first season of the series, and we encounter the cat people, the people that Cat is also a part of. So what is introduced in the first series is that a lot of the cats took off to kind of explore the universe. They have a whole religion based off of Dave Lister that they've kind of gone off to pursue. We encounter a couple kind of rebels from the cat people, and that puts the crew at odds with the feral cats, and our adventure is about the crew dealing with the circumstances around encountering the feral cats, and addressing the issue, addressing the fact that Dave is basically the god of a religion that these cats live up to. Along the way, we have a lot of acknowledgments to previous episodes, etc. The quality is high. The humor is mediocre. So they have lost, I think, a little bit of the humor of the series. Again, any Red Dwarf's better than no Red Dwarf, but they've lost a little bit of the humor. Halfway through the series, the 2 creators, Grant and Naylor, one of the 2 creators left the series, so it's basically been only one of the creators that has gone on probably for the latter half, probably about series 7 and on. So I think it's taken a little bit of a hit there because you don't have the two people to bounce it off of. Still been an enjoyable series. All in all, I'm very happy with the purchase. I think I purchased it on Amazon for $14.99. It arrived immediately when it was released. So I got it on the 15th of September. So just a couple weeks ago, it was released. We have watched it. This is a series that I watch with my son. We watched this. We enjoyed it. Again, it continues the story. We're happy with how the story's going. It's enjoyable. What we have heard is that there is a planned 13th season. So this would be just kind of a special between season 12 and 13. So we'll keep our eyes and ears open for that. But all in all, I would recommend it if you're a fan of British television, if you're a fan of British sci-fi, and you're a fan of British humor, this would be a good pickup. So again, this is, to me, is in the genre of just a funny Doctor Who, same caliber of entertainment, stories, etc. One thing that is fun about this series is that they do somewhat throw continuity out the window. They don't really strictly adhere to continuity, which is fine. It does have us asking a lot of questions, but that's okay. All in all, I'd recommend it. Check out Red Dwarf. There are 12 seasons and one special, Promised Land being the latest. You can get the first 8 seasons in a box set. Everything else is individual, or you can buy them all individual. But check it out. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe bell to be notified of new videos upcoming. And I'll see you with my next update, which will be a review likely of a pair of pants, ironically. We'll see you then.